Trump
As a
interview.
state, it would be one of the great states anyway. This would be the most incredible country visually. If you look at a map, they drew an artificial line right through it between Canada and the U.S. Just a straight artificial line. Somebody did it a long time ago, many, many decades ago, and makes no sense. It's so perfect as a great and cherished state. Keeping "O Canada," the national anthem. I love it. I think it's great. Keep it. But it'll be for the state, one of our greatest states, maybe our greatest state. But why should we subsidize another country for $200 billion? It costs us $200 billion a year. And again, we don't need their lumber. We don't need their energy. We have more than they do. We don't need anything. We don't need their cars. I'd much rather make the cars here. And there's not a thing that we need. Now, there'll be a little disruption, but it won't be very long. But they need us. We really don't need them. And we have to do this. I'm sorry. We have to do this. Yes.
Mr. President,
Yeah.
you have made it very clear that NATO needs to step up, although great progress has been made in the first mandate. How do you envision this new transatlantic?
Are you talking about NATO stepping up? Well, NATO is stepping up through this man. This man is a man that only knows how to step up. And we have the same goal in mind. We want the war ended. And he's doing his job. He only knows how to do a good job. That's one thing. That's why I fought for him to get that job. Because they had some other candidates that I'll tell you would not have done a very good job.
I need this part of the move for my family.
So we'll get you a clip. We're going to get him a clip of that little last statement. The rest of the statements he doesn't care about.
Sir, how does this new transatlantic cooperation, how do you envision it?
Well, we have, that's one thing. I mean, we're on the other side of the ocean. And they're right there. And yet, we're in for $350 billion because of Biden. And they're in for $100 billion. So it's a big difference. And it's unfair. And I said, you have to equalize. They should equalize. They should have. It should have never happened where Biden just gave this money away. Now, as you know, we have an agreement with Ukraine on the rare earths and other things, and that'll get us something back, a lot back. It'll get us our money back. We're not doing it for that, though. I'm just doing this to get the war stopped. I'm doing it really to save lives, but at the same time, we were treated very unfairly, as we always are by every country. And we're in for very substantially more than the European nations are in for, and that shouldn't be. They're much more affected by it than we are, because we do have an ocean in between. But I don't know. I think good things are going to happen. I really do. I think good things are going to happen. I do say, we were talking before, and Mark was very nice. He said, if you would get involved, there would be nothing. You'd just be going on. This thing would have gone on for a long
Breaking a
time.
deadlock. It was crucial.
Yeah, we broke a deadlock. We did break a deadlock. I hope it's meaningful. Yes, did you have one? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. President. Amanda Head with Just the News. On the southern border, you've got DHS and ICE who are reporting that there was a little bit of fudging of numbers during the Biden administration on both the catch and the release side with respect to reporting the number of illegals coming into the
They
country.
cheated on the numbers. The numbers were. I love that question. Who are you with?
Just the News, Amanda Head.
Very nice. That's good. That's
Do you
good.
know how many of those are criminal illegal aliens?
Many
And
of
Biden's out of office, Alejandro Mayorkas, who gets
No,
held
Biden
accountable?
fudged the numbers. The numbers were totally fake. And he gave fake numbers. I knew they were fake. Everybody knew they were fake, but now it came out. And terrible what they did. That administration was a horror show for this country.
Can you hold anyone accountable?
Well, I don't know. They gave phony numbers. And phony numbers are a very bad thing to give, but I'm not sure about that. I don't know how it would play. We want to get it straightened out. We're after many, many bad people that were let into our country, and Kristi Noem and my friend Homan. How good is Tom Homan doing, right? And they're after him, and you see they're taking him out in record numbers. Gang members, gang leaders, drug dealers. There's a problem the Netherlands does not have. The Netherlands never had this problem. If you'd like to take
They
it
had a
for
few
a
drug dealers.
I could deliver some people. I could deliver some nice people to the Netherlands if you'd like.
I'm not sure.
No, what he did to this country, letting 21 million people flow through an open border, many of those people were hard criminals from prisons and jails, from mental institutions, and I always say insane asylums because they were seriously deranged. And they're here from, not South America, from all over the world. From South America, but from all over the world. And it's so sad. You'd say, why would anybody do this? Why? Yeah, go ahead.
And one more, there's some new internal Democrat polling that doesn't look great for Democrats, but it also has 54% unfavorability for Republicans in swing states and battlegrounds for the midterms. Do you consider those voters capturable for Republicans?
Yeah, well, we did, I won every swing state, as you know, by a lot. And I won the popular vote by a lot. And we won the counties. If you look at the counties and district plan, we had 2,725, and they had 501. That's why the map is all red. So we had a great thing. Yeah, I think winning from the Democrats, if you look the other night, I made a speech, and I introduced two young ladies who were killed, viciously, violently killed. Young, unbelievable, both outstanding people. They were killed by illegal aliens. And the Democrats wouldn't get up and applaud. The mothers were, inconsolable. They were crying, and everybody was crying. The Democrats sat there with stone faces. They didn't clap, they didn't stand, they didn't do anything. We had a young man with very serious cancer, his dream is to be with the police department someday, and he was introduced. They didn't even clap.
Yeah, that's horrible.
They were disgusting, frankly. They were disgusting. There's something wrong with them. They're deranged. They're deranged, like Jack Smith. They're deranged people. And I never saw anything like it. I'm standing up and I introduced the mother and the parents of these two young girls that were just recently essentially killed, violently killed. And the Democrats are like this. It's so sad. And I saw this morning where one of them is pretty well known, one is fighting like crazy over men being able to play in women's sports. I said, I thought that was tried. I thought that was about I think it's a 95% issue. But in a way, I want them to keep doing it because I don't think they can win a race. I tell the Republicans, I said, don't bring that subject up because there's no election right now. But about a week before the election, bring it up because you can't lose. And everything's transgender this, transgender that. They have bad politics, but one thing, they stick together. I wish, and the Republicans stick together mostly, but we have a couple that are grandstanders. You always have grandstanders in life. But the Democrats, they have grandstanders, but when it comes to a vote, they do stick together, right?
Yes, sir.
It seems like they'll stick together on the shutdown. Will that hurt Democrats going into midterms?
Well, if they do a shutdown, and ultimately that might lead to very, very high taxes, because we're talking about a shutdown, we're talking about getting to work immediately on the greatest tax bill ever passed. That was the one we did. It was a renewal, and it's an addition to it. And we're going to cut people's taxes. And if we don't open, the Democrats are stopping all of these good things that we're providing. We're providing the greatest package of benefits that this country's ever provided. The biggest part of that's going to be tax cuts for the middle class and for businesses, small businesses, employers, people that hire people in jobs. And if it's shut down, it's only going to be, if there's a shutdown, it's only because of the Democrats. And they would really be taking away a lot from our country and from the people of our country.